Welcome. Are we on? Yes. I'm Kim Ball, events chair of the Handley 100th. I'm just going to tell you quickly about some of the upcoming events that we have and then turn it over for tonight's program. Next Saturday, the 18th, is a very full day. I hope you will avail yourself of some or all of the activities. We have, starting at noon, it's Handley 100th Day in Old Town. So everything is centered around downtown. At 12 o'clock, we have an alumni music series event at the Taylor Pavilion. And that will be a kind of a 1920s, 30s swing band. It's Dixie Rhythm. And at least one of the members is an alum of Handley. And then at 2 o'clock in this auditorium, we have a panel. It's kind of an early Father's Day tribute. So we have a panel of 6 graduates of Handley whose fathers are now deceased and whose fathers were Handley notables. So they're going to be talking about their dads. And it's, a very distinguished panel. We're going to be honoring Russ Potts, Ron Rice, Charlie Zuckerman, and a few others. So then also that evening is our gala, which is down at the George Washington. There are still tickets available if anyone is interested, but the deadline is coming very soon. So talk to me if you're interested in attending. That's a ticketed event. In addition to all that, we're going to have a sealed bid of the #1 print of Eugene Smith's watercolor painting that he did for the celebration. We're going to have an artist exhibit. We're going to have Handley authors and book signings down at the Winchester Book Gallery. We're going to have a tent downtown with balloons and face painting by the Handley Interact Club, which has been very helpful to our celebration. And then on the 25th here in this auditorium, we have another speaker series event. It's a graduate of Handley from the class of 2016, New York Times best-selling author Andrew White is going to be doing a fireside chat. And then a few more things. In June, on June 8th, I'm really excited. This just came together today. We're doing a Patsy Cline tribute, music and some history at Verbrisa downtown, and we've got 7 different artists who sing Patsy Cline songs, and that'll be a lot of fun. And of course, Patsy attended Handley very briefly, but she did attend the school. And then on June 10th, we're going to have another panel discussion with 3 women who have been in broadcast journalism, including Lauren Ricketts, you may remember, as a meteorologist with one of the Washington stations, Kara Dixon and Allegra Zamore. And then on the 14th is our finale event. We'll bury the time capsule at the school. We'll have a volunteer pizza party. We'll have the showing of the culmination video. Then we'll have cupcakes, and we'll go out onto the terrace and see fireworks to cap off the entire year. And then the next day we rest, okay? So tonight's program, I've always felt, and so has the committee, that we need to make sure to make note that this Handley's 100th is not just a historical event, that Handley is still a high school, still has real live students there, and tonight you're going to meet some of them. Still has teachers, and I'm proud to introduce one of them who's going to be the moderator tonight. Valerie O'Keeffe is the theater teacher at Handley. She's also the manager of the Patsy Cline Theater. And I'm going to turn it over to her, let her introduce the students. Hey guys, I have waters in that bag. If anybody wants a bottle of water, you can take it up there and pass it around if you want. And I will remind everybody that we have a hard stop around 7:45, 7:50, because the library closes at 8 o'clock. And these guys have tests tomorrow, right? All right, and thank you for being here again. And I have a little something to give you at the end to thank you for your involvement.
All right, I'm going to shamelessly plug our end of the year theater program, which is May 17th. And it includes a piece that was done by Mike Stryker in the 70s, early 80s, that they wrote and did for their D&D show. And he's been coming to work with our kids and directing it. And it's really funny because some of it just doesn't translate. There's this whole bit that's supposed to be really funny where they go for your gun. And the guy walks out of his building. And my kids are like, why is this funny? And he's like, I went for my gun. It just doesn't read. There are some jokes that don't read. And so we've had to kind of update and talk and work with. And it's been really fun. So please come to that on May 17th. So I'm going to release these mics, if that's acceptable to everyone. Okay, so that I can walk around and talk to the kids and pass them and all of that good stuff. So you guys will release that one and pass it through the back 2 rows, and I'll sort of pass this one through the front 2 rows, if that's okay. All right, so to start off, I thought there would be lots of graduates and folks of a different generation who maybe don't know what it's like to be a teenager. Maybe it's been a few minutes, okay? So I wanted to just start off with a few little icebreaker-y things. So if, for example, someone walked into your room and said, fit check, what are they asking you to do? What's a fit check? Are you looking to do that? Do you know what a fit check is? Okay, are they asking you their general nature of fitness, like their fitness level? Can they? What are they asking you? Your outfit. Yeah, how does my outfit look today? They usually turn around when they do it, so it gives you some context clues. Okay, all right, and then the second thing, at the end of tonight, one of these kids walks up to me and goes, "Your speech ate." Is that a good thing or a thumbs up or down? Let's do the teacher thing. Is eating a good thing or a bad thing? If my speech eats, is it good, thumbs up? Or is eating a bad thing? All right, kids, meet it. If someone says it ate, is that a good thing?
Yes.
Okay, that's actually a compliment. Okay, so if you ate and your fit looks good, you're a teenager, probably. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is let them do most of the talking tonight. So please just start us off. Will you guys just tell us your name and your grade? Okay?
Hello, my name is Chase O'Keeffe. I'm a junior at Handley.
Hello, my name is Blue Bray. I am a freshman at Handley.
Hi, I'm Tay, and I'm a senior.
Hello, I'm Eliza Gardner, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Yoslyn, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Reese Willingham, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Sierra, and I'm a junior.
Jonathan, I'm a senior.
All right, Jonathan, if you'll just hold the mic right there. Your next question, okay? All right, let's get this right. What classes do you take this year? What is your favorite, and why?
Well, I'm taking 6 classes this year, and the classes I'm taking are entrepreneurship, calculus AB, AP physics, AP literature, AP government, and weight training. And I think out of all those, my favorite one is probably weight training, just because, well, lifting weights is a fun activity to do, at least I think. And, well, it's just a free class, so, yeah.
I'm taking English, pre-calc, econ, carpentry, history, and COE, where I'm working at a daycare. My favorite is probably carpentry.
I'm taking Drawing and Painting 1. I'm a library aide. I have AP Student Literature and African American History. I also take AP Government and AP Physics. My favorite class is probably African American History because I really like the content, I love history, and I really like the teacher.
This year I'm taking honors biology, honors English, algebra 1, world history 1, symphonic band, gym, and I think that's it. My favorite one is probably honors bio because I'm planning to go into the med field in the future, and it's really fun like learning about all this like stuff about genes and stuff. Also, we got to play with Dalmatians or some sort of puppies. It was really cute.
I'm taking English, history, concert choir, biology, art introduction or something like that. That's all I can remember right now. I think my favorite one, Spanish. Spanish is my favorite one because I really love the teacher and the class is really easy for me.
I'm taking algebra, PE, English, history, biology, treble ensemble, which is a choir, and French. And I really enjoy choir because I like singing.
So I'm taking astronomy, AP calculus, AP government, African American history, AP literature, video and media technology, and I'm a library aide. And I think my favorite is video and media technology because I get to film around the school, and right now I'm making a horror movie in the class.
I'm taking world history, algebra, gym, biology, German class, and that's kind of it. All my other classes, I think my favorite so far, and English. I think my favorite so far has to be German because my German teacher is really fun. He's really goofy. He makes learning very enjoyable.
All right, I'm not going to list out all my classes. My favorite is probably German just because I love the teacher, honestly. He's Miss Reckelberger, yeah. Fantastic teacher.
Very funny.
All right, so that is the perfect segue into our next question, which is, who is your favorite teacher and why? And for the audience at home, think about, your favorite teacher. Send them a note. See what they're up to.
As much as I love Mr. Eckelberger, he's really fun. My favorite teacher is Miss O'Fanlin and Miss Alio, my algebra teacher and my English teacher, because they're fairly young and I have a lot in common with them. I can go into the rooms and I'll be like, hey, I learned this thing the week, and they're like, oh my god, that's so cool. I think it's really neat. I love them. Wait, you already did yours.
You did say your favorite teacher.
No, that's valid.
So I think my favorite teacher is Miss Scanlon, and she's not really my teacher, but like I talk to her a lot, and she's the sponsor of my book club, which I'm the president of, so I really love her.
My favorite teachers are also Miss O'Phelan and Miss Aiello. I gossip way too much with them. They know too much. My favorite teacher is probably Miss Escalante. She's a very warm-hearted person. She's very nice, and I just really love her.
So she's technically not my teacher. She's one of the librarians, but on B days, because I finished my Spanish class, I come down to our classroom, and it's Miss Drummond's. She's so funny, and she also has my older sister, so I basically just gossip about my sister the whole time, and she just, sometimes she agrees with what I say, so.
My favorite teacher is definitely Miss Kogut. I've worked with her a lot with Interact, and she's definitely been a really good role model and like mentor for me, and really like been a big like part of my life throughout high school.
My favorite teacher has probably been Mr. Banton because we're able to like stuff, and he's really understanding, like, and patient with us.
I'd probably say Miss Cutchaw, my physics teacher. I think she's an easygoing person, definitely knowledgeable, and can help me get an A in AP Physics. So.
So here's the next question for you guys. This is a big question. This is huge. And this doesn't have to be just Handley. If you go to dance at SCOP or something, tell us about that. But what are your extracurriculars? If you can, focus on clubs and sports and things that you do at Handley. But if you do other things, tell us about that too. So feel free to mini monologue here, okay? Because each one of you does a lot, I'm quite sure. So give us here. Let's go backwards.
Backwards?
We'll start with Jonathan.
Some extracurriculars I like doing. Well, obviously I'm in part of Handley Interact. Also another club in Handley is Latios and Nios. I've done it also for a year. Track and field, indoor and outdoor for 2 years. That's about it.
What was the second one you said, Jonathan?
Latios and Nios. It's a community that helps out different organizations in Winchester, just like Interact.
I'm in Interact. I swim. I'm very involved with the youth group at First Presbyterian. And yeah, I think that's it.
You work at a daycare.
Oh yeah, and I work at the daycare, TLC.
Sorry. Okay. I am president of NHS. I'm vice president of Interact. I'm also a school board representative. I do a lot with Interact. I'm also Relay for Life co-chair, so that's a big thing with Interact. Part of our job is to work with the American Cancer Society and raise money and fundraise for the American Cancer Society, which really does so much good in the community, and it's really great to see. I also do Handley Swim and Handley Academic Team. I did forensic speech and debate for 3 years, and I work as a lifeguard with Frederick County Parks and Rec in the summer.
So obviously I do Interact, but I'm also a really big fan of theater, and I've been acting since elementary school, and I'm also involved with my school's drama club. I swim. I'm also in Girl Scouts. I've been doing it for a really long time now, and I'm currently working on my Gold Award, and I'm planning to volunteer at the hospital soon.
I also do Latinos Unidos. I do art club and Interact, and I also enjoy painting.
Okay, so I do Interact, and I'm on Handley Swim Team. Every Wednesday, I help with my church's children's choir, and I'm in Girl Scouts. I've been in Girl Scouts since I was 5. And I'm working on my Gold Award, and I think that's about it.
Okay, so I do Interact, I do book club, I do Earth Club. I was part of robotics this year, and I started a club called the Asian and Pacific Islander Association this year, and that was one of my main focus for extracurriculars. Yeah.
I do Interact Club and art club, and at one point there was an attempt to make a D&D club. Unfortunately, we didn't make it far, and I really want to do more art next year, and I will be joining drama club, which I'm very excited for.
Y'all tried to make a D&D club? Oh, that's unfortunate. I do very few things actually compared to, I'm assuming, everybody else here. But my favorite club is probably Interact or literally just an Interact. So Interact is probably my favorite.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of you touched on this already, but I think for the folks watching this, what kind of jobs do high schoolers have today? Who hires you guys and what do you do? So if you don't personally have a job, what do your friends do? Where do you guys work? Are you all at the mall? Are you at, what do you do? Tell us about it.
Well, personally, there are a lot of places looking for internships, and paid or not paid. For instance, over the summer, I'm working at Shenandoah Music Theater and being a general tech for them.
I don't have any real job, and I don't really know anyone in my friend group that has a job, but I do make small amounts of money through commissions where people pay me to make art, and it's fun.
So I used to work for 3 years at my family's restaurant, and like a lot of people also works at restaurants as like hostess and waitresses and stuff. And I know a lot of my friends that work in like fast food and like places like Target, Ross, Walmart and stuff. So that's like all types of jobs for us to have.
I do chores for a living. My boss is very selective if I get paid. Hire me, please.
Sometimes I help my mom sell food, and I also do a few like side jobs. I'm not gonna say what, but it pays really nice.
So I personally do not have a job, but I know a lot of people who do. My sister works at Applebee's. I've got a friend who works at Forenza Pizzeria. I've seen so many people who go to my school at Kohl's, Old Navy, Target, and it's kind of awkward seeing them, so I kind of steer clear.
I've been swimming for a number of years now, and so I know a lot of people who lifeguard or in the summer or like during the winter as well. Like Tay said, a lot of like retail and like fast food and restaurant work. I also know a lot of people who like babysit or like walk dogs on the side.
Obviously I work at the daycare, but then also during the summer I work as a counselor at a camp. Yeah.
Usually over the summer, I like working with my dad doing landscaping, but this year I'm trying to get a part-time at maybe a retail, you don't know. But last year I also did community service for my church, and I was actually a liaison for kids, more like a tutor for the younger age.
Okay, so let's take a break from all the heavy stuff. Like the word AP ended up used in a sentence more than, right? You guys work hard, you have jobs, you work hard, you do a lot. You guys are very driven, clearly. So what do you do for fun? Let's start with Jonathan and work backwards. What do you do for fun? And it's okay to say I sit on this Discord server and play video games with my friends, because that's the thing. That's what you do. That's what you do. What's fun? What's fun for you guys in 2024?
For me, I like, helping the community out through Interact. I like running, lifting occasionally. I like exploring new places, like hiking new mountains, spending time with my family, doing things outside my comfort zone is just something that I like doing.
I like to crochet. I also really like to swim.
I like to swim, I like to hike, I really just like doing things outside. I really love to read, I love to also bake cookies, and I love to like, not travel, but I really like to visit DC on the weekends when I have free time.
So I really like to swim, I like to act, I like to play my cello, I like to read, I love traveling, and I love to spend my time outside.
I like to sleep. I don't know if that counts, but but I also really enjoy painting. I like to read, and I like to babysit sometimes.
She stole my sleep option. But other than that, I hang out with my friends.
I also like sleeping and eating, and I like to go out with friends and like just like be out of the house and do also. And I also like to just watch movies and shows, like just relax at home when I'm not like doing something school related. So yeah.
I really like drawing and art in general. I do a lot of short animatics, and I play video games, and I do a lot of things inside, but I'm constantly talking with my friends whenever I can, and drawing like Transformers and stuff, because I really like Transformers.
I recently started an Animal Crossing playthrough, so that's what I've been up to for the past couple months.
Is that video?
It's a video game, yeah.
And can I ask a follow-up on those who like sleep? I'm just curious, how much
for something or if I'm stressing out. But if it's not like a test, I probably get like 7 to 6. But if it's like something I have to study for, I'm probably gonna get like less sleep, which is probably gonna be me tomorrow.
I get 48 hours of sleep on the weekends and 0 sleep in the week.
As much as I love sleeping, sometimes I can't sleep, so I say I get like 8 or 9 hours.
Good for you.
So when I like come back home, I like to take a nap after school. And so if you call me, like you might not reach me after school. But yeah, so I usually sleep at 12 or 1 a.m. and then I wake up at 6. And it's like very jagged. Like today, for example, I slept at 2 and I wake up at 6 and I went back to sleep. And then I woke up again at 10. So it adds up, I guess.
Because we had testing today, there was a 3-hour delay.
I actually have something to add. I have a very inconsistent sleep schedule. That's why I have a love-hate relationship with sleep. Today I woke up at 4 a.m., didn't go back to sleep at all. Because I randomly am like, oh, I gotta do art. It's the middle of the night. Okay, art time anyway. And then I will suffer later on in the morning. But it's okay. I manage. My grades aren't slipping.
Back row, want to talk about your sleep?
5 hours weekdays, 8 hours weekends.
Yeah, probably like 4 or 5 hours weekdays, like 6 hours on weekends.
I really try to prioritize my sleep, especially as a senior. I'm not taking quite as like intense classes. I try to get 7 to 8 on a weekday, weeknight, probably maybe even a little less because like I know I can afford to be tired and like take a nap. Like, but I like waking up early.
All right, so for this next one, I need you guys to hum a little bit. We're gonna do the in the Shannon.
I don't know this song. I don't know this song. What?
Can we get the sheet
Okay,
music?
put yourself in the mind. What is your favorite Handley tradition? What is your favorite Handley tradition, even if you didn't hum along?
I don't know. Does relay count as a tradition? Okay, then relay for life. It's a charity event, and they get a bunch of performers to come up and perform for everybody. And I think that's probably my favorite.
I'm not exactly sure any traditions I have a favorite to, but I do enjoy pep rallies a lot. I get to just see my friends, and I'm like, yeah, go, we're gonna beat them, and I get very excited. I do feel the school spirit. I get pumped up.
So I've only been here for 2 years, so I don't know that much, but we've recently been invited to do the walk to the tomb thing, and I really like that tradition because like we get to see alumni and like future Handley students, and we're all just coming together, and I think it's really beautiful.
So I'm only a freshman, so I don't know what are traditions and what we just do, but during homecoming week, we decorated the hallways, and that was a lot of fun to see.
So I'm also not very sure about the traditions, but if this kind of counts, I like snow days.
I don't think this counts as a tradition, but I've always I love away meets for swim. They're so fun, and I have no idea why. Most of the time, I got DQ'd, but after going to the gas station after a meet, just with wet hair and pajama pants, it was really fun.
My favorite tradition that we do at Handley is definitely Relay for Life. It's such a cool thing, and all the acts are so good and people are so talented. I'm also a senior, and so there's a little bit more senior traditions, and I have a pretty good attendance record, but I definitely loved to see my senior skip day. My friends and I, we went out to a concert, and it was a really cool experience.
I really enjoyed junior stand. I spent probably way too much time there this year.
Senior skip day.
I have to, like, for the audience at home here, there is the coolest thing whenever the choir or the band or the theater department or forensics, whenever they go away to something, when they come back to school, the minute they cross the railroad tracks, everyone starts singing the alma mater, and they just break into it. It's just a tradition, it's a bus tradition, and I get all misty up there. I'm just like, how does everyone know to do this? We cross the tracks, and they start singing. It's just the coolest tradition. And Sierra has popped more popcorn than any student in our school for junior's band this year. Facts. All right, we have to get dark for a second here. What is hard about being a high school student today? Not Handley, yes, but also just in general. What's hard about being a high school student in 2024?
At least for me, just being consistent with my work and just getting things on time is difficult for me. If I'm on a roll of like doing activities, coursework, then like I get going, but like when I don't do my stuff, right, I just fall off, I guess.
Probably managing my time. I forget I have to do stuff a lot.
I think there's a lot of like pressure. There's a lot of comparing yourself to others. There's a lot of like, I have to get into like the elite top % school. And paired with that, there's a lot of like feeling of like you don't have like the control to like do what you want with your future or like take the classes you want to be taking. And there's a lot of things that like you have to worry about like other people's opinions of you. And so I think like one of the more like important lessons I've learned from high school is to like stop caring about like percentages and like elitism and like just try to like go to like, in terms of like college, like go to the college that is like the right fit for you and care less about prestige and like go to the place that's like gonna be the best for you.
I think like probably one of the two hardest things about being a high schooler is focusing on your mental health and schoolwork, because it is so hard, especially when like you just feel like tired and you get all this work, and it's so hard to balance all of that. And I think another thing is just like people in the school. I'm like I have very bad social anxiety, and I'm always afraid that I'm going to be judged or made fun of. And even if I'm not doing anything that's considered wrong, I'm just deathly afraid of like screwing up and being the joke of the school.
Making time for things is really difficult because, for example, I want to do events for Interact, but sometimes I don't know if I'm able to because I have to make time for studying and I have my life, and it's just kind of complicated.
Kind of like a work-life balance. Obviously, I don't work at school. But I think just prioritizing either schoolwork or friends or trying to get a balance of both, that's really difficult. Also just remembering to take care of yourself. That's hard to remember to do for some reason.
So I think the hardest thing is, like everyone said, like trying to balance your work, like your schoolwork and stuff, and trying to get your assignments in on time. And I've been doing really bad at that because it's my like last week of school. So next week is, but yeah.
I think one of the hardest things for me is probably my mother's expectations. She wants me to, as all mothers do, she wants me to shoot for high grades, A's, B's, and I'm more of an average person despite being a really smart kid when I was younger, because school is a lot easier then. That's probably the biggest thing I struggle with, keeping my grades up and satisfying to her when I really am just trying to like ride through it, get in, get out, you know. But yeah, that's kind of it.
Thank you. Probably adulting at all. I mean, y'all know y'all are adults, but it's just like the more and more responsibility you have put on you, it just gets, you know, more annoying and difficult, I guess.
Fair enough.
last week we had a panel of Handley teachers here, and one of the questions that was asked of them was, what do they think makes high school life tough these days, and what are some of the challenges for them teaching high schoolers and for the high schoolers? And a common response was about cell phones, social media, those types of distractions, or so what do you all think about, how would you respond to the issue of how do you manage your cell phones, and how does that play into your school life and social media? These are things that you all confront all the time that those of us here in the audience didn't confront when we were your age.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it a bit harder to be a teenager. Like, most people naturally, when they see somebody on Instagram or something that are like extremely attractive or something, it's natural to like compare yourself to that. And that's, to manage that, just delete social media. That's what I did. It worked out pretty well.
As you're talking about this, what social media sites do you use?
I personally do struggle a little bit with my social media habits. I like having music playing on in the background in my mind. I like having constant input and new information just kind of put in my brain that's immediately catching my attention. And it's a big struggle among a lot of the people in my grade too. I've seen it in my class. There was a little debate about it a few days ago in my algebra class. It is a bit of a problem, but as long as you are at least paying half attention to the class, I feel like you will make it. I'm not going to play saint here. I am also very guilty of this, but I do pretty well for myself, so I think I'm okay.
Can you pass it back to your left for just a second? Are you perhaps in the pilot program with the pouches, and how do you feel about those?
Ooh, fun topic. Okay, so.
I love them. More pouches. No. More pouches.
Okay, so.
You have to explain what that means.
So basically, there's this pilot program that started during our fourth quarter, where when you get to class, your teachers will hand you this blue little phone pouch, and you have to put your phone in there. It locks it, and it won't open at all, no matter what you do. Trust me, we tried, and until they come by with a magnet. And they're not terrible. They're if you have a fun class full of people you can talk to, but one thing that I've found in my classes, especially because I have two teachers that did that, and in both those classes, I've noticed that more so than anything else, people come up with other ways to distract themselves. So it's the issue isn't the phones, it's us not wanting to do our work. I've been creating paper footballs and airplanes and just being a worse disruption because I can't, distract myself. So.
I do not like this rule at all because it means I won't get my music, and I need my music to focus despite everyone else's oh, that's not going to help you focus. I really do need it to focus. I have one audio going in, one audio here. I need to contain it all in my brain, and music just helps organize it all. And if they do the pouches thing, I'm not going to have my music unless I do it on my Chromebook, which is how I see a lot of people, clever people, distract themselves in class. If you're clever, you will use your Chromebook, not your phone or anything, to distract yourself in class, and that's what I do.
So yes, stay with the social media topic if you can, and tell us what you use and how you feel about that if you want.
So I use a lot. I use Instagram, Snapchat. And I'm the public relations coordinator for Interact, and I post pictures on our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter and stuff. And I think there's a lot of pros and cons to having social media. Some pros is for me, I use it to kind of express myself, to communicate with my friends, and I post a lot of pictures of my life. I don't really care about what other people say, so I just post whatever I want. And yeah, there's still a lot of cons because in this day and age, technology, and there's a lot of editing, and people would edit how you look and stuff, so people would have body, how do you say that? Yeah, that, yeah, so, yeah.
So I have very strong feelings about the phone pouches and social media. my thoughts on social media are that the people who are distracting themselves in class are trying to distract themselves from the outside world. Just trying to forget everything else that is happening around us, because obviously the whole world is not always perfect. So I just feel like everyone's trying to just, oh my gosh, look at this funny video of this cat dancing, to distract themselves from, oh my gosh, there are wildflowers. And I feel like Blue said, I also use music a lot to not distract myself, but focus more or less.
No, I said I was going to say with my music, I'm distracting myself with other things.
But I feel like if we used the phone pouches, there are pros and cons, because although you can be not distracted by your phone, like Chase said, you can be distracted by other things. So it's not always just the phones. It's also just trying to distract yourself from school. So there's always pros and cons.
I think sometimes I do struggle, especially on the weekends, spending too much time on my phone. But I think that if I know that I have to like pay attention to something because it's important during school, I will definitely pay attention. The phone pouches thing, I'm not a big fan of it, because I think I can manage that for myself, because I do care about my grades. When teachers take away my phone, it just makes me lose attention in that class, because I'm just thinking about, I want my phone back.
So I primarily use Snapchat, Instagram, and Pinterest. I think it really depends on what app you use, because for Pinterest, it's more of like, it's like probably one of the least toxic like social media apps, because it's like full of positivity and ideas. But for more like Instagram, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and sometimes like I'll spend way too much time on it just scrolling through reels because I'm lazy and I don't really know what else to do. And also there's things that like scare me, like serious topics, stuff that's going on in the news, and like it's scary. But again, it really depends on the app. And then for the phone pouches, I don't like them. I think it has held up my bio class. Like she takes, no hate to Miss Kogut because it's not her fault, but when she's unlocking the pouches, it takes like a very long time to get everyone's pouch unlocked, and it holds us from the class because all of us are trying to get our pouches unlocked, and we're trying to get to different classes, and some people have to go to the IC or like upstairs, and it's like a very big waste of time. And again, I do think it takes away your independence, because it's not like I don't care about my grades. Like I'm very worried about my grades all the time. But I feel like that the phone pouch does not really do anything to benefit. The kids are still gonna like talk, they're still gonna be distracted, and there's not much you can do. So I don't like it.
So sorry. Okay, so maybe I need to get like a different phone, because like I can't access like anything on the school Wi-Fi. I think that's like a big deterrent to social media usage. Is just like you can't do much on the school Wi-Fi. I feel like they like purposely like block the signal so that you can't access those apps. I think I mainly use like Instagram and Pinterest, and overall, I think a big part of high school is learning how to manage distractions and manage your own time and yourself. And so by taking like your phones like away, I don't think that's the right solution, because it just doesn't really teach you how to use your phone responsibly and how to set that distraction aside and like focus like on purpose. And also I use my phone for like, you know, to like contact my parents or to like text like my friends, like make sure they're okay, but mainly like text my parents and like make sure that like stuff going on in my life outside of school is going all right. So I would like to have it in school, and learning how to manage it it's just a necessary thing, I think.
I mostly use Snapchat and Pinterest. I don't have any teachers that use the phone pouches. But like, yeah, like Reese said, I feel like they do take a lot of time because I've seen the process of them trying to have to unlock them. And
Well, I really don't have a problem with the phone pouch policy. Obviously, I know that my peers don't like the phone pouch policy, but honestly, it doesn't affect me that much. I try and limit myself on my phone. I try to pay attention to class. If I can't, well, sucks to suck. But for social media, I use Snapchat, TikTok, and Twitter.
Right, I think we're coming to our wrap-up question, guys, all right? So I need you all to go deep into the recesses of your mind and just picture yourselves 10 years from now, okay? 10 years out, where are you? What are you doing? And if you just want to say happy, that's fine too. But where do you see yourself in 10 years? Just give us some kind of a snapshot. There are no rules here.
In 10 years, I probably see myself in some type of economics corporation and just doing the job that I love doing, which is economics, and enjoying life.
in 10 years, hopefully I want to be working with kids in some way. And yeah, just enjoying life.
In 10 years, I'd like to have graduated college or maybe law school, but like have like many degrees, and I guess the debt associated with that. I guess I'd like to be happy and like have a good like sense of what I want to do with my life, and like have travels and like have cool hobbies, and you know, just have like a really interesting like work-life balance and like done cool stuff.
I see myself in 10 years, hopefully getting out of med school and pursuing a career in the medical field. I'm currently really interested in becoming a labor and delivery nurse or some type of surgeon. And I really hope that I can travel to Europe, because I just think that Europe is such a beautiful continent, and there's so many countries that are so beautiful, and they've got so much good food and really pretty picture spots. I also hope that I can act and visit New York quite a bit, because I am a bit of a musical theater geek, and I really hope that I can just have a good life without much problems, and yeah.
In 10 years, I hope that I've been to a good school. I hope that I've made my parents proud. And I really hope that I spend a lot of time with my friends, because I think that's something really important.
In 10 years, I hope that I have a dog. I love dogs. I hope I do something with preschool in that department. As much as I love Winchester, I want to be far, far away from this town. I've lived here my whole life. I'm looking for something new, people. I also just hope I am still happy and kind and still funny. I hope.
So in 10 years, I hopefully have a job. So I want to go into developmental economics. I want to help developing countries, because I grew up in Cambodia and I see a lot of poverty and stuff, and I want to travel more and just see all these different countries, because the world is really big. And I also hope to still stay friends with the friends I have now, and meet new people and just enjoy life.
I've never been sure where I'll see myself within a time period, because I'm very spontaneous, I do a lot of things, but within 10 years, I do imagine myself probably living with my girlfriend and one of my friends, because I've been invited to live with my friends multiple times. I'm cool like that. And hopefully pursuing a career in some form of animation or art, or maybe just online content creating. But I do know I'm probably not going to be in America. I got friends all over the world, and I'm very excited to see them and live with them and just kind of exist with them and do art. Yeah.
I'm going to buy a van and drive around the country. So that's pretty much where I'm at this point.
Hippie buzz.
Yeah, a little Volkswagen or something. So. Yeah, with my guitar. That's another point. Yeah.
All right. So there you have it. Should we take questions? I think so. Should we? Well, should we applaud these kids though first? Congratulations. And Kim, thank you and the committee for including the kids panel. This is amazing. Questions from the audience? Do you guys have questions? Do we have time for a fun game?
Oh no.
I don't think so.
No, okay, fine.
I'm gonna get a parking ticket.
It's fine. Yeah.
Here, can you?
Yeah, for those of you who are seniors, what are your plans for next year, if you know?
So I'm going to James Madison University, and I'm gonna study economics. And yeah.
Very good.
I'm going to a four-year college. I'm going to JMU, but honestly, I'm hoping I'm not there too long because I kind of want to transfer into another school, maybe a big school around this area, maybe UVA, Virginia Tech. You never know, but.
I'm going to be attending St. John's College in Annapolis. I'll be getting an interdisciplinary degree in liberal arts.
Let's just give them a round of applause. I've got another one.
So, when I went to Handley 45 years ago, one thing that was different for when I was in school and when you guys are in school is that Handley is much more of a much more diverse culturally, racially than it was when I was in school. And I just wondered, the teachers addressed this last week, and actually they said, you know, that they saw lots of good interactions among people students from all different backgrounds, and I just wondered if anybody wanted to address the cultural, racial issues and diversity that exists at Handley now.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Good enough. Honestly, yeah. I mean, it makes classes and okay. And it's fine. Anyways, it makes classes and just the school overall a lot more interesting. You know, a lot to learn from a lot of different people, and yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I do have a lot of friends with a lot of racial differences. Not exactly religious or cultural things, not that I've seen at least. But every time I do meet someone who is very different from me, I do my best to try and understand certain things about them that just don't click in my mind right off the bat. I always try to keep an open mind about everything, especially about different backgrounds, because I know everyone didn't have the same childhood, didn't have the same upbringing and all that. I really want to make other people feel comfortable around me and feel like I am a safe space.
So I'm also friends with a lot of people from all types of background, and I really enjoy hearing like where everyone is from, like how they grow up, and I also like to share like my story and stuff, and that's also like part of the reason why I made the Asian and Pacific Islander Club, and there's also other like cultural clubs at Handley, like Latinos Unidos, like Black Student Union and stuff, and I think like every student, like at least for me, like I feel really included in like the community, and I feel really safe because everybody is like all different, so you don't feel excluded out because like everyone's different.
I like learning about different cultures and different people who are different than me. I joined the Asian Pacific Islanders Association just for that reason. And I feel like I have learned a lot, and it's a lot of fun to know different people and everything. I don't know.
I mean, I don't really. Okay, no. I was gonna say I don't really care about that. No, but I guess what I mean is I don't really mind if other people are different from me. I just try my best to befriend them and hopefully build a good relationship with them.
I really like learning about different cultures, especially because I want to travel. And I feel like our school, like, although it does have a long way to go, it is pretty, like, tolerant and pretty diverse for, like, because I know some transfer students, I think some have come from Afghanistan, I think some have come from, I think there's one from Japan, and I really want to join the Asian and Pacific Islander Club because it seems so interesting to learn about all these different cultures, especially ones that, like, I don't really know about. And unfortunately, like, there probably are some incidents with people, but, like, overall, I do think it's pretty welcoming.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I think it's weird when I like have friends from other high schools and like their high schools are definitely not as diverse. I think the school has a long way to go. I feel like especially in the AP classes, they're definitely not as diverse, which is just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird.
I did also join the Appia Club. Yeah.
That's the acronym. Oh, yeah. No, I know. I just didn't know.
I like the diversities. I like how diverse our school is. I like to learn about different people's cultures, their religions. Yeah.
Do you guys have questions for them?
Yeah, I have one question.
Okay.
Who uses ChatGPT in their research and everything? And what are the rules? Do teachers say you can do it, not do it? Show of hands, who uses it?
If you don't get caught, they don't know.
I have a comment on that. There was a ChatGPT kind of generator that was accessible throughout most of the school year at one point that I used a little bit, but not really for cheating, just for like something else, hard ideas, blah blah blah. And at one point, I go on there one time to like search up some art or something because I was kind of like brain funked and it was blocked and I was like, oh. So I feel like they're trying to block it so people don't plagiarize because that was the reason that it got blocked. That was the little thing it said. But I don't really think it's like terrible because you will easily spot if a paper is like plagiarized or just AI generated. I think it's fine as long as you're taking a little bit of source material here and there, but not just copy paste.
I don't use ChatGPT. I use Photomath and Google Translate. But the only thing is that my mom uses ChatGPT, so I'm starting to really think about, should I use it? Should I? No? Okay. I just don't do my schoolwork, I guess.
I don't use ChatGPT, but I like messed around with it once. I asked it to make me a recipe, and the ingredients were not.
Give us some ingredients.
I don't remember, and I've also watched people like try to make a recipe, and it was so weird. And I once asked it to create like a Broadway script. It was weird, but I don't use it because personally, like, I don't really get using AI. I'm not very familiar with it. I might have used it to like see what the hype was about, because like why are you using this? What is the appeal? A lot of people use AI like to talk to fictional characters. I know that. I've never really done that, but I know people like to do that. I mean, because technology is getting very advanced, and if you want to talk to Garfield on character AI, you can go ahead and do that. But like again, we're advancing, and again, if you want to talk to maybe Robert De Niro, that's fine, because it's actually really scary. Because like I tried talking to Elon Musk once on character AI, and it was so weird because he just kept bullying me.
Stop.
Stop. Please stop. Pause it.
No.
I haven't really used it much.
I feel like I have a kind of like a moral like opposition to it, just because like I think that people should practice being able to like write their assignments and like communicate their thoughts and like articulate things. It is an interesting tool to use for like jumping off points for research, like what would like the internet say, and then you can like, it's like sort of like looking at Wikipedia to like learn more about like an idea, and then like as a jumping off place for research.
Thank you.
Do you guys have questions for
What do you think I was
someone who
doing?
went to
I
Handley
was
a really long time ago? Is there, I mean, well, for you guys, 10 years is a long time. So do you have questions for them? Like, is there something you want to know about what it was like in the day? What do you guys do? What did you do in your free time? All right, when you were in high school, what did you do in your free time?
Oh,
That's a fair question.
better at art is, did you guys have like a free period? Because we don't have any of those.
My dad's here.
What was fun in high school? That's the big question. What was fun in high school for you guys?
Oh, goodness. You know, the same things that you want, and you have friends and clubs and activities and things. I mean, when I was at Handley, I was editor of the newspaper, and I was involved in student government. It's interesting, recently I had, and I spoke about this at the March to the Tomb, but recently I interviewed a woman who graduated from Handley in 1942, and and she just turned 100 this year. And it was interesting, at the end of that interview, or during the interview, she asked me about, she said, do the kids still walk to Judge Handley's grave at the end of the school year? So, I mean, isn't that cool? But here's this 100-year-old woman who's thinking about this tradition that was important to her, and you all still do that. The other thing she said, I asked her if she used to attend football games in the Handley Bowl, and she said, well, I did, except in my junior year when I had to work the concession stand, you know? And so that was, you know, here's a 100-year-old woman who remembers that in her junior year she did junior stand, just like many of you all have done. So there are a lot of things that have changed, like we've talked about, but there are a lot of things that have stayed the same.
Do you have a question?
I did have a question. Did you ask her what she did in her free time?
She liked to go to dances. She talked about that. She liked to swim. She talked about the fact that she got her driver's license at age 14, and she said she still drives. I'm not sure if that's really true, but.
That's my question.
Oh yeah, she said she did say.
It was a different time.
She talked about driving, and she did say, actually, I drive better than I walk.
I just want to say, I don't think I've ever been to any game at the Handley Bowl that wasn't for concessions. I don't think I've ever seen a full game of anything that was played there, just because I'm usually working concessions for Interact. I need to stop. I eat too much popcorn.
So no, I didn't go to Handley, but I did great ball, I was still a great ball Montana, and I was in the projectionist club. And I loved that. We went down to this room where all the old projectors were, and we ran the projectors that was put into the classrooms. The teachers would send us a note telling what they needed, and we would go down to that room during our free Saturday, going there at 8 a.m. and getting into a heavy drum and walking down the stairs like a penguin with the heavy uniform on, the chance of heat stroke. It was a lot. Personally, I'm not doing it next year, but yes, I did it this year. But it is kind of hard because that's around the musical rehearsal time, so I have to spend way later at school than I probably should. So yeah, what'd you play though?
I played the flute and piccolo. 8 in the morning. Oh, that's a lot better than
Because they wanted us to rise bright and early to play beautiful noises for the football players.
And then you walked up and said like zombies.
Oh, well, we had to go really early to, go down to the field, get some marching practice in,
Well, see, we did that. Well, we had 7 blocks. So my first 2 years, we had to go up, the IC, which was John Kerr. We had to go in that field behind it. It was lined off so that we could march there. Because we could only practice on the football field once a week because Jimmy scarred the football.
we couldn't practice on the football fields. We had to march up the hill. That was a painful experience. There's bees, there's prickly plants. Also, it's just really steep, and I fell.
We flattened that hill my sophomore year so we could use it in my junior and senior year.
It's still very steep.
Yes. And there was no sidewalk.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or stairs. It was a straight up.
I'm going to present you all with the Handley 100th logo lapel pin, which these are not something that's for sale. These are only presented to people who are integral to the celebration, and you all have really helped out here tonight by showing that Handley is not just a school of history, but also a school of the present and the future. And I'll let you pass these back. And thank you all very much.
Ooh.
And everybody got one? And thanks for giving up a few hours of your study time to come and communicate with us. And you guys have done a great job. And